You weren't born hating your body. You learned it. So, on today's episode of Weight Loss for Women Over 40, I am so excited because I really want to dive into this. And again, you weren't born hating your body. You learned it. So, we're going to unlearn it today in this episode right here. So, make sure that you tag this episode, download it, whatever you need to do to hold on to it, because this is going to be a huge reminder and a way to move forward. So, make sure you save this podcast however you can. So, welcome back to Weight Loss for Women Over 40. I am Nikki T, and I have been in this industry for over 23 years, and I've seen it all. I feel like I haven't done it all in the sense of like I haven't tried every single diet. I have tried some diets, and I unfortunately taught the whole dieter's mentality in the beginning of my career. And it's because that's how you're taught as a personal trainer, as a health coach, as a all these certifications, nutrition certified specialist, blah, blah, blah. So I get it, and it does work, right? The dieter's mentality does essentially work. It can get you down to a body that you like, but the problem is you can't hold on to it. And the reason is because your brain has not solidified that leaner version of you, so you can't hold it. You can't keep that leaner body, which makes a lot of sense. And then add in conditioning from growing up and how much food is available to us in the US especially. So again, today we're going to take a gentle journey, a stroll down memory lane to meet a very important little person, your younger self. So if you are listening to this episode while you're walking or if you're driving, definitely earmark this. You can listen to it, but then go back and re-listen to it when you're in a safe space where you can kind of close your eyes and really get into the space because we're going to get into it today. So if you're walking outdoors, again, don't close your eyes, but if you're in a quiet space sitting, you can absolutely do this. So we're going to take a journey back and meet the version of you, your younger self. Because here's the truth that nobody talks about and nobody tells us. Again, you weren't born hating the body that you have. You learned it. And again, we're not blaming mom, dad, guardians, whoever taught it to you. They're dealing with their own stuff. But now that you're an adult, you get to make your own decisions. And the beautiful, awesome news is that you can unlearn this. Just because you learned how to hate your body doesn't mean you have to stay there. You can unlearn it. So, what I want you to do, and you can absolutely close your eyes, is I want you to think back to a memory in your childhood. Could be at any age, but I want you to go back to a memory. Maybe it's a barbecue that you're at. Maybe it's a day at the pool. Maybe it was in school. Maybe it was in an after school activity. Maybe it was in your house. I don't know. Maybe there was a moment where you felt really awkward in your body, in your swimsuit, in your clothes, and somebody made a comment about your body or what you were eating or what you were doing in that moment. Take a moment and focus in on that period in your life. It may come in a flash. You may know instantly. You're like, yes, I remember that. And some, it may take a little bit. It may take a little bit of peeling out off the onion a little bit. But those early moments, the things that we saw, maybe you saw your parents doing something or your mom dragging you to Weight Watchers, right? Or something like that. The things that you saw, the things that you heard, the things that you felt shape how you relate to food in present day. It also has shaped how you have reacted to your body over the years. So it's like over time, you're planting these little seeds, these little thoughts without realizing it. And every time your brain goes through that pattern, it plants another seed. And these are seeds of shame. They're seeds of like, I need to do something about this. I'm too much. I shouldn't look like this. Something like that. So you're planting this garden essentially of not serving beliefs. So you basically have a weed garden of beliefs, limiting beliefs that are holding you back to moving forward. You get to decide what you want to plant. I talked about this in one of my reels on any of the social medias that you follow me, you can see it. But like reels are like thoughts that just go by, not reels, sorry. Your thoughts are like clouds that go by. And you can just watch them go by. You can just watch the clouds go by. You can grab onto thoughts and hold them close and kind of look at them, right? We are not our thoughts. That's an amazing thing. Like you can separate your thoughts from you, game on. Because then you know you're not your thoughts. Think about how many thoughts that we have a day. 60-some thousand thoughts. 40,000 of them, I guarantee you, are negative. And when you start looking at them, you get to decide, oh, do I want to hold on to that one or do I just want to let it go? Because most of them you want to let go until you get into the mindset skills, the tools that you need in order to create that new mindset that sets you up for successful weight loss and keeping the weight off. So go back to your little girl, that memory that you have. I want you to imagine in that moment. Imagine your little version of you. What is she feeling in that moment? Is she scared? Is she confused? Maybe she's seeking love and acceptance. This is big with family members. If your parents kind of ignored you in certain circumstances, again, we're not blaming them, but if they or you felt ignored, right? Because again, there's always two sides to the story. But if you felt ignored, then you would be seeking love and acceptance from this parent, and maybe you found it in food instead. Or maybe you found comfort of love and acceptance when you and your dad used to go places and have ice cream together. So that little girl, that little version of you that is hurting inside from that moment, whatever it is, and there may be many moments in your life. You may be able to pick 5, 10 different ones, but there are some that really kind of pull at your heartstrings. Those are the ones you want to focus on. That little girl in that moment, she deserved kindness, safety, and understanding, not criticism or rules, or shaming. So today we're going to really practice reparenting yourself and giving that little girl version of you what she didn't get then. This is about compassion, not punishment. And for sure, not punishment for the people that you want to blame. Okay, the parents, the guardians, all that. So here are 3 simple ways to start reparenting yourself. This is a great way to heal that little girl version of you. Again, that little girl version of you is showing up in your everyday current reality. Because if you don't have the results that you want, if you don't have the body that you want, that little girl needs some nurturing. She needs some healing. So here are 3 simple things that you can do to start this process. So number 1, write a letter. Write a loving letter to your younger self. Tell her she's enough. Tell her how beautiful she is. Tell her how worthy she is, just as she is. Tell her all the things that you wanted to hear. Write it out. Second, notice your inner dialogue. When you catch yourself criticizing your body or your food choices, I want you to really ask yourself, what would my younger self need to hear right now? What does she need in this moment? I know for me, when I start feeling anxious, I just want to eat and I want to kind of black out and numb because I don't want to feel anxious. What does my little version need? What does maybe she needs a hug. Maybe she needs to go run out and go crazy, like run in the streets. Not run in the streets, but do you know what I mean? Like get some energy off. Could be very different for you. But what do you need in that moment when you're criticizing yourself? Maybe you need a hug from your spouse. That's okay too. If you have an awesome spouse, they will be happy to give you a hug in that moment. The third one is I want you to create a safe space, physically and mentally. You can light a candle, you can play calming music, or you can hold a comfort object, especially if you have one of your toys from a childhood. Like I still have my baby doll. Her name was Pudgy. She's an adorable little baby doll. No offense to the baby dolls out nowadays. I haven't really followed up lately because my kids are much older, but a lot of the baby dolls, in my opinion, are super ugly. They are not cute at all. Again, my personal preference. But anyway, but my Pudgy doll, she's just an adorable little tiny baby doll. And I think it's Pudgy 2.0 because I think Pudgy number one got lost somewhere. I'm not sure. I just remember being very upset that I lost Pudgy number one. But magically, Pudgy number two showed up. But if you have something from your childhood like that that's like comforting, maybe you need to hug that. Maybe doing that is going to connect you more to that younger version of you. It may bring back some other memories too, right? These little acts of healing those moments, even though we can't go back in time, right? But when you heal that version of you now, it's going to rewire your old beliefs and bring healing. So if that sounds like a crazy idea, even more so you should do it then, in my opinion, because it's just sometimes those things that you're like, really? That's what I need to do? Yeah, go try it. Just try it. Can't hurt, right? So those are three ways that you can start reparenting yourself and really connect to that little girl version of you. The other thing too is talking to yourself the way you needed to be talked to back then, right? Our inner voice shapes our reality. So start speaking to yourself like you were your own best friend or your favorite aunt if you had one. Say things like, I love you no matter what. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. You get to be loved just because you exist. You also deserve joy and peace. And when you say things like this to yourself, over time, this will rewire your brain. It starts to quiet your inner critic and nurtures the self-love. So finding healing, but also finding safety in that moment is going to be super helpful. So if you're finding yourself grabbing for a bag of chocolate chip cookies and you had just had a fight with your partner and you feel cookies is the answer because again, primitive brain is like, yes, that's the answer, right? That's also your little girl reacting to the patterns that you have created over time. She thinks cookies is going to help soothe you, and in the moment, yeah, probably does. But we know that long term, that is not going to get you the results that you want. So it's not about not having cookies. It's about making decisions in what you say you want in that moment, in that like frantic, anxious, upset moment, right? When your emotions are high, your intellect is really low. Think about teenagers, right? When they're, or someone who's blowing off steam or whatever, which I even hate that word. I mean, but when someone is emotionally charged, you don't make good decisions in that moment. You have to bring yourself back down. It has to balance out. There has to be this leveling out where you can make intelligent decisions. Think of it this way. If you if you have an emotional connection, so let's say something happens to your daughter, you're very upset. You're not going to be making decisions very well at that moment, right? But say someone else got hurt and you didn't really know them, you're like on it. It's a disconnect. You don't have an emotional connection to that person, so it's easier to make more rational decisions. Same thing with your inner child, right? Your inner child is having a hissy fit and freaking the F out because it's like, I need the cookies. I need the cookies. We got to feel better. This sucks. This moment sucks, right? And you're in this emotional spin, but you're not going to make I hate to say smart or intelligent decisions because it's not smart or dumb. It's just what do you want? What are you going for? How do you want to treat your body? If we're talking just physical body weight, what decisions do you need to make in order to get that body. And again, it's not just, it's understanding the patterns and the conditioning that we grew up with and understanding how to lay out that roadmap for you because everybody's so different. This is why I love working with my clients. Everybody is so different. And I love when people come in and they tell me their jobs and what they do because they're all different. And we think that our job is something that's going to get in the way of having the body we want. It's not. It's all up here in your brain. It's all the patterns and conditionings and beliefs that you have that are stopping you from getting you the body you want. So I hope this was super helpful to you. I want you to treat yourself like that precious little girl that you once were because you weren't born to hate your body. You were taught that. And now, being the adult that you are, you get to be the one to teach yourself love. And the beauty of this is if you have kids, this will spill over into their lives. You don't even have to say anything. They will notice by the way you act, right? Kids don't pick up on what we say, they pick up on what we do. So if you want that extra little bump of, yeah, I can influence my kids to have healthier habits or to be healthier in general, then do it for yourself first because it will overflow into their lives. Remember, if this was helpful, tag this, download it, whatever you got to do to hold on to it, to remind yourself that that little version of you needs some love and safety. And that's how you're going to help move along and get the body that you want. If you want to take it deeper, absolutely, you can join the Master Your Mind, Change Your Body group. It is over at Weight Loss for Women over 40 at the end.net/group. And or you can work with me privately. You can go to weightlossforwomenover40.net/call and book a call with me to see if you are a good fit for private coaching. I only take a few people for private coaching. I'm very selective as to who I work with. So if you feel inclined, go fill that out. And if you're not ready to work with me, it's not a problem. These podcasts are going to help you in so many ways. But also, you can go to my website and grab 5 reasons why you're not losing weight over 40. It's at weightlossforwomenover40.net/book, and you can grab your free ebook today. I hope you have a beautiful summer day today. It is beautiful where I am right now, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.